Yeah, I definitely agree with you. I think, like I said right at the start, I think this is another chance for Radix to back themselves another win. However, I do think this is Enclave's opportunity to show up and potentially make it competitive. And that's why I believe our first match of Day 2 of the ESL Premiership could be our most competitive of the week so far. But here we go, Enclave versus Radix. Radix over on that T side. Enclave over on that CT side. And already we're going to be seeing some aggressive ramp stuff coming through. I mean, Radix going to go diving out. Lumji is going to shut them down. It's a swift left-right good night as he finds two. Bowden will find the trade, but Angry needs to clear it under, and so he does a headshot connecting right to the back of Trials. Means we got ourselves a 3v3. It's going to get a little bit more heated. Shiki just tapping away from jungle, but it is going to be shut down by Angry, still creating such an awkward situation for Enclave to work their way out of. They're being shut down all across the board, leaving just Dream, and he is just dead to rights.
Yeah, okay then. Radix just taking the fight straight up to start things off. That could be a sign of things to come. If they get confidence early on after getting that win previously, if they just continue to make those aggressive plays, Enclave, if they get on the back foot early, especially on the CT side, could have some issues. That's kind of what we saw from Fish 123 yesterday. They went into their CT side, they could never get that money built up. That's why they threw away that heavy lead. That can certainly be a factor coming into play here if Enclave can't build up the money early on. However, that's still yet to be seen because they have the pistols here. They can still do some damage. We are going to see a few players playing up close in towards a ramp early. Radix, though, just spread out in a default, making sure they don't lose any players early into the round. It doesn't look like we're going to see any plays come through yet. You can see just a nice little bait and switch setup in towards ramp.
This is going to be a bloodbath when they walk on through. I mean, Angry sure is going to be going straight for that kind of first shot with the AK, but that CZ playing up close and personal is going to catch them by surprise. And that's where this slippery slope begins of, will the MP7 of Neff actually come through, find those kills, make that money, or are we really going to see that kind of frantic scenario where an AK falls into the hands of Enclave?
Yeah, it could certainly still go either way. Angry just sneaking his way forward, spots the man. That's an important headshot early, and he does get the second, despite taking a dink. Two very important frags to claim, as you were saying, certainly could have been a bloodbath. And, well, there certainly was some blood shed, but it's all in favor of Radix, and that allows the bomb to reposition all the way over towards the A site. And it does do a little bit of damage. There isn't too much they can do about this. The bomb's going to go down. If a stray bullet landed onto Angry, maybe that could have been a kill, but nothing coming through. And Enclave, I think at this point, have made the right decision. Just save what you can for the next round.
Yeah, obviously going through to round number 3, Enclave will have nothing unless they can save these pistols, backed by the armor, of course. So there really is a lot for them to play for right now, as this one does come to a bit of a fruitful end for Radix. Bear in mind, of course, Angry did a great job of clearing off ramp, finding both those kills. But it looks like they are going to be able to walk away with all 5 players intact, which with Angry being on 12 HP is actually a pretty mean feat for this T-side. You talked quite a lot about kind of building that economy, but you were really referring to Enclave a fair bit there. But you have to kind of look to Radix and go, you know what? This is really good for you. Keeping those SMGs, make more money in the next round as well if you can feed the kills to the likes of Artis and Neff. Yeah, they are in a pretty good situation.
Yeah, and that's why it's also really nice to see them not overextend there, not try and get any unnecessary kills. I mean, maybe the MAC-10 could afford to just run around, try and get a frag or two. However, it's certainly worthwhile just saving what you can. And now we'll get to see if Enclave can have any more success in this round, where they have only 3 upgraded pistols, but Shiki is towards mid, the Deeg in hand. He doesn't pull the trigger, though, and that molly is going to force him back. So no chance for him to get an opening. In the meantime, Lumji with just the USP, unlikely to get a frag at this range, you would think. Still rattling off the shots, and a dink does come through, so a little bit of damage early. In fact, a frag for Lumji before he falls. And Shiki sprays away the Deeg, doing damage. He gets a double, and Enclave are in this round.
Vintage Shiki coming out to play, riled up, punching through. Whisk gonna help him out with a swift double kill. You know, Enclave are on the board, 1-2. You got to start somewhere, and that is the perfect way to get themselves back into this one, picking up those rifles.
Yeah, that really kind of came out of nowhere. Shiki gets those 2 kills. That makes all the difference in the round. And now we get a position where both teams have fairly similar buys. You can see the T side, though, actually get an AWP for Bodenmaster. That's somewhat surprising. He goes for it without the Kevlar. Didn't realize he would quite be able to afford that. That could still make a fairly big difference here, especially in a round like this where the money is a fairly big factor, with both teams not really having much built up.
The interesting thing, though, is we just kind of clocked onto there, is that boasting hasn't gone for that mid pick. He's gone straight over on towards B apps and kind of looked to see what he can accomplish there. Meanwhile, his teammate Artis is getting the job done. An early headshot on towards Lumji means an advantage is put into play for Radix. This is incremental within their setup. Then they get angry, even more aggressive in towards window. Another kill falls into their lap, and oh god, does it get better and better. The only issue is the life loss of Capers, but even he's standing proud as Dream just couldn't finish him off. That a disaster for Enclave. A two-man disadvantage, losing just another pick from pick. They are being torn limb from limb.
Yeah, and it's really nice to see the aggression come out from Radix. Clearly they are confident on Mirage, and it's working out for them early on. Whisk tried to go aggressive through B apps. At this point, you have to try and make a play, really. And they might not expect him to be in this position. He could at least get one kill. However, from a 2v5, it's just so difficult to get back into a winnable position. Flash comes through. And, well, Trials did get a kill elsewhere. Whisk could certainly still do the damage. Oh, he spots the bomb. He's going to deny this. He should get the frag. Indeed, he does. It's back to a 2-on-3, and this is now somewhat dangerous.
Capers being 11 HP means that he is just in the exact spot that Whisk needs right now. Unfortunately enough, does shut down Trials. Capers to finish off Whisk, and that means the round is a go, and Radix will take it, but that was close. That could have been completely different. It was a nice play waiting for Artis to plant, getting that high HP player, leaving just 12 HP on the side. That's, you know, the pieces were in play for Enclave. Unfortunately, just didn't quite work out in the end.
Yeah, and again, it's Radix going for the early aggression that is really how they seem to be gaining their advantages at these early stages. That's not necessarily something they can keep up here, though. Again, up against the pistols, and you can see Enclave have elected to go for a little bit of a gamble, a stack towards A. Certainly something that's worth going for. Shiki peeking towards mid with the CZ. That's ambitious, to say the least. However, he's not going to spot anyone. In the meantime, it's Angry working through a ramp. He's been taking quite a few of the opening fights so far, and he's been winning them consistently. Still very early days, of course, as the player comes up close. They're going to try and take him down, and Angry overextending there a little bit. He was the only man in a ramp, and he gives away an AK for Whisk to take.
Curious to see what Whisk will actually be able to do with that, though. I mean, sure, he's picked it up, but complete wrong side of the map to really have that impact. Everyone is being shut down over on towards B as the hammer is dropped by Radix. 2 kills coming through, of course, meaning that, yeah, you've got an AK, but again, I raised the question of what are you going to do with it? I already think that you start to consider just saving that weapon. I mean, you can see from Whisk, I think he's on the same page, just heading towards A Palace, sitting back, relaxing, and I'm Dream to still kind of prod around with this CZ, look for an exit kill of his own, but yeah, definitely just going to keep that AK to go through round number 6.
Yeah, still a nice little bonus for Enclave. Nothing massive, but the AK saved will be a small benefit to them. But I'm interested to see if Radix keep up this style where they're not really, again, going for too many pushes together, it seems. It seems like they are willing to just play for picks early on. I mean, it's worked for them so far, so there's not necessarily a reason to go against it just yet. As we get to see if Dream can do a bit more damage. Should be able to do so, but he pulls the trigger. Yeah, that's not gone well. He's not going to get the frag, and the 3 players will all survive safely for Radix. So no extra damage done. But let's see how this round plays out for Radix now. Another gun round for both teams, you would think, but it looks like Enclave... Okay, they are buying up now. So I thought their Shiki... Yeah, this is... I mean, what is this?
I mean, they're in a really shaky spot, right?
Yeah.
Because you've got some players who can afford to buy and some who just frankly can't. So what they end up deciding to do is kind of go for a bit of a half-buy technique on some of their players, while the rest will force on through, that being the likes of Dream. You have got Trials, Lumji with these kind of CZs, Deagles in play. They've got the Kevlar behind them as well. Means their economy is at a really weird spot. I'd love to see kind of what it is right now if we could get the scoreboard at some point. I mean, sure, we have got these pushes coming through on towards B, but I don't know if Enclave can hold us. I mean, that double nade is crafty as anything. Whisk is going to secure a kill, but instantly traded back by Angry. The round is already beginning to crumble. Enclave are just looking to be in a very tight spot.
That was both the rifle players on B as well. They were both holding the B site, and they still can't hold it off. And again, it's just Radix keeping up the early aggression. You can see there on the map, Enclave not particularly interested in going for the retake. Mainly just going to try and see if they can get some exit kills. But as far as I'm aware, Enclave have the 3 players that you can see alive with money still. But I don't think Whisk and Dream have really any to work with. So I don't know if they're going to be able to force up into this next round. It leaves them in a really awkward spot. And I was saying earlier, managing that CT economy will be quite important. I'm not sure Enclave have been able to do that at the early stages. Nonetheless, Radix just exit together. 1 kill kill for Trials is all he's going to find, and the rest of the team will make sure they are safe. In fact, Neff continues to fight, takes down Shiki at the end, and we see the money now.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to see. I wanted to see where everyone kind of stood to see exactly how much they were going to get. Obviously, they are going to be somewhat supported by the money they get after losing just another round. So it's definitely going to be a huge boom for them. And it doesn't leave them in an abysmal spot. I mean, they can squeeze out the AWP on towards Shiki. They've got Kevlar behind it as well. They've got the 2 rifles up on Trials and Lumji. So, you know what? Everything starts to make sense when you just take into account the money they're making after dropping round after round. But what does that mean? You've got to hold on towards this A site, boys. It's really now or never. Capers comes flying out. Trials, Shiki, both going to put up the numbers. Trials looking for more, but Radix finally responds, put us back into a 3 versus 3.
Yeah, that flashbang really did well at slowing them down. And now we're going to see a sneaky boost come over the top. But with the bomb being planted for Connector, they're not going to be able to spot that one out. So Whisk isn't going to get an angle to do anything here. He's going to hear the shots come through, and Bonemaster jumps up on the box. He spotted out, and Whisk is going to get that headshot through the box. So man advantage now for Enclave, quickly lost as Angry only gets the 1 frag. Ardis is gone for the big flank. He's all the way back towards mid. There's no defuse kit. Whisk has the kit. He's not defusing. He's trying to defend him with the rifle.
Does this give him a chance? I mean, can Ardis find the kill? He was getting damage through.
Yeah.
Just wasn't the headshot. Wasn't instant.
I mean, that's interesting though, right? Because Whisk had the kit there, but he decided to just stand with the rifle and try and hold it off. I guess most of the time that's probably the best play because you assume the terrorist is going to be somewhat near, so you want to fight him.
I think the reasoning there is they actually had information that no one was on the site. They didn't know where else he was going to be, but I think it's a fair hunch to say, okay, he's on the big flank, we've not seen him at all.
Yeah.
So they just went for the defuse, but the player with the rifle to kind of take the gunfight, and from there, kind of everything did work out for them. It was still a little shaky because it was that 10-second defuse, and I mean, if there was a headshot through, I think you lose the round after that point, to be honest, but... You know what, let's not shred ourselves too much on the past. Let's look forward to the future instead. Of course, 5-2. Enclave feeling the pressure in round number 8, I think, because they still got no bank to fall back on. And this time there's no loss bonus or anything like that to support them either.
Yeah, definitely a high-pressure situation, but Radix have at least slowed down their aggression. So that's something that I think might help Enclave. They managed to stop one of the early aggressive plays there out towards A. They managed to win the round at least. And so now Radix might just respect them a little more, might just sit back. They have still gone for the mid presence, though, which is something you see very often on Mirage. But Shiki here with the AWP. Oh, gets caught off guard. That was Ardis in towards a ramp. You would be expecting someone to watch that from his team, but no cover there. A little bit of miscommunication, and the kills come through everywhere.
Fantastico, Angry, getting 2 kills again from that boost is disaster. Capers shutting down Lumji. I mean... Whisk, buddy, what could you possibly do here? I mean, I feel for you, man. Like, your whole team have just died all around you. They put you in such a tight spot. You're not going to go down without a fight. It's a punch to the left, a punch to the right, and it does lead to a kill, but nade after nade landing at his feet. He eventually is going to be put in the grave, and that's unfortunate for him. Angry just sending the message home. I mean, he shouldn't be able to boost. 2 times over on window, picking up kills every single time. I mean, the guy's 12-4.
Yeah, he's the man I pointed out in pregame as well. I said he's probably the least known player on Radix, but he top fragged in the opening game, 22 kills, 8 deaths. He's continuing to get aggressive, continuing to win fights, and it just creates so much space for his team to work with as well. He's doing a great job so far, and again, it's the economy of Enclave on the back. For Radix have just had full control so far.
The key phrase there as well is you used the word duel, and I want to dig into that a little bit deeper just by adding opening duel to the front of that, because the amount of entries Angry has found his team have just put them in a real comfortable spot on their T side. I mean, I credit at least 3 rounds to his entry frag so far.
Yeah, and it's key rounds as well. It's the gun rounds that he seems to be doing the most work in. That's exactly what you want to see. Shiki, that's not what you want to see. He gets shut down early. Ooh, Dream does catch Angry out there. A little bit of a surprise, and a couple of Deagle kills have come through. Back to a 3-on-3 quite quickly. So the mid presence this time doesn't go perfectly for Radix, but they're still in a fine position in a 3 versus 3. And if you take a look at the map, Enclave are fairly spread out now. They're having to leave Whisk solo on B, but oh, okay then. Yep.
See ya, Trials.
Yeah.
I mean, what can you do after that? Just a quick drive-by headshot out of ramp. Neff's going to go free for more, but falls off the stairs to save a life.
Yeah, flank comes in from mid. Not much to be done at this point. Ooh. Actually, for a second there, that was looking a little bit tasty, but Whisk doesn't get to pull the trigger for the second. And again, I mean, this isn't great. Yeah, Enclave, they can't fully invest into the buy here. This has just been the story of their half so far. They've lost the critical gun rounds, and that's what can happen when you do, especially on the CT side. You don't get the full money, and they don't even have that much investment into this round. They really want to make sure they get the full gun round coming up because they're so far behind. Stuck towards mid, and Trials did win that opening fight there. The AWP is dropped. I don't know if that'll be recoverable. They are trying to push up towards top mid, and Dream tries to cross but does fall. This is where the lack of utility could cost them, because if they had a smoke up, they could easily get that AWP. But now with just a flash, it's going to be difficult, but Whisk only gets the 1 kill. If he gets the second, that would swing the round on its head, but it's just back to a 3-on-3 now.
Still trying to get themselves some sort of weaponry, just upgrade from these pistols, but in return, all the receiving is just more and more chip damage from Radix. Just tag after tag being applied. 66 HP is what Trials is on right now. 56 on Lumji. It looks like he may well be about to lose his life as well. It depends on the peak from Capers. If he pulls distance, goes into kind of that center of mid, might just be able to spot him, but then Neff enters the picture anyway from the top side of mid and shuts him down. So things do really start to fall into place to Radix as they begin to apply pressure towards this B site, short, of course, their avenue of attack, collapsing on towards Trials, who has been landing his fair share of the eagle shots, but as much as I want to see some explosive magic from him, I don't see this being a way for him to hold the site, and that's exactly what we went, is Capers just shuts him down with a peek. The molly was going to burn him out anyway. I mean, it's a constant shutdown affair for Enclave. They just don't have anything going for them right now.
Yeah, pretty rough. I mean, they will get the buy into the next round, and Shiki has managed to sneak away with that AWP that was towards top mid earlier, so that's something to work with. I mean, Radix don't really have to worry about their economy. I don't think they're in trouble, as in they don't need to save this AWP or anything. However, it certainly helps Enclave just to be able to get that AWP. Maybe we could see a double AWP setup come out, which is something Enclave haven't been able to pick up yet. So this gives some more options for Enclave, as long as the AWP is saved, which I'm assuming will happen at this point.
I think we're good. I was kind of waiting just to see how quickly they'd move out of mid, but I think we're okay. I like the fact he's not taking the peek either. He's just sitting super far back. So, I mean, it is going to be a 100% guaranteed save for the AWP, which is something that's pretty critical because, of course, it opens up the double AWP potential, which when you're down and out, you're already kind of 8-2. A double AWP could well be a chance for you to experiment, try something different, and see if that is a variation of play that might bring you back into this game. They haven't opted for it, but I felt like they would definitely consider it. I mean, Whisk, after all having, what, 600, like, had the money to go for it at the end of the day.
Yeah, he took a long time to buy up as well, so I certainly feel like that may have been a consideration. Especially on Mirage, you see a lot of players that rarely pick up the AWP, especially the B players. They're quite willing to hold B apartments, it seems, so you don't even necessarily need strong AWPers to be able to go for it, but Enclave elect to just go for the single AWP for the time being. Artist
down to 6 HP just from that early fight and ramp. Those nades, that damage being applied, really going to squeeze them out nice and low. And again, what we're seeing towards kind of mid-window is the same sort of pressure as well from Radix, using 2 of these players just to try and climb on through. Angry again going through his almost bread and butter style. He doesn't realize, but he's right on top of someone, I think. I mean, what is going on? Where is he, Dream? With the shot in the back of the head is going to cut him down, but that is something that just shouldn't happen. Things get a little hairy for a second there, but Enclave do come out on top at least.
Never in doubt, lads. Dream knew what he was doing. I mean, I don't know how that happened, but there we go. The first kill comes through for them. And as you were saying, Artist is also down low. So finally, Enclave managed to take down Angry early on in one of those opening duels you were talking about. Now we get to see the adaptation from Radix because they can't rely on that opening pick from Angry. It looks like they might just fall back into more of a team-based setup. Interestingly, Bodenmaster's being left at mid there by himself with the AWP. He's so exposed in that position.
He's gone through window again.
Oh my God.
They love window. Every round they pretty much go for it. It really is just their play. Unfortunately, they got shut down there. They're getting shut down towards ramp. There is nothing left of this D side. Capers is trying to fight this one out, but it will not come through. Dream going to finish this one off. Enclave secure themselves a third.
Yeah, 3 rounds on the board. Get to see the Radix money. Still looking fine. Can go for the AWP if they want to, but Bodenmaster hasn't picked it up yet. And it will just be 5 AKs to work with. To be honest, with how Bodenmaster played that previous round, he probably would have been better off with the AK jumping into window like that. So there's certainly the advantage, and take a look at the map. All of Radix over towards B. This could be a very quick round.
I like this, though. It's them completely changing up their style. If they just explode out onto the site, if they're not spotted by Whisk, things are about to get messy, to say the least. But the molly does come out. He does know what's coming. The smoke is going to be dropped in response, though. Bowden going to go flying out. He knows the position of Whisk. How much can he do? The answer is nothing. The headshot comes in, leaves him dead to right. Stream starts to respond, but it's only going to be 2 kills. The site has been taken. The only response from Enclave can come in through market, but they've got nothing to sell. It's just these peaks from Shiki that he's hesitant to take.
Yeah, the bomb plant's somewhat delayed. Some damage taken by Angry. They still have 1 Molotov and 1 nade left, but no smokes left for the T side. So as the bomb goes down now, Enclave have a bit more time to work with, as well as 3 kits. They're still going to need quite a quick kill here.
The mollies from Radix. Incredible stuff. Cheeky! Hello! That's a nice kill to find. Capers will trade it back out again, and this angle from Artis is going to be problematic. Spots Trials, he tries to slide out through market, leaving it all down to 1 player. Shiki, 14 HP, but he's at it again. That's another shot for him. Can he find the final flick? The answer is no. So close, but so far.
Yeah, I think that second kill was through the bench, so that could have been pretty exceptional from Shiki there, but not meant to be. And that summed up this half so far for Enclave. It's just not happened for them. Even when they picked up 1 gun round, never winning consistent rounds. And again, give credit to Radix. As you said, they really switched up their style there. They showed that they don't only rely on those angry entries that we saw earlier. And speaking of angry entries, he is currently in towards a ramp. Boastmaster is going to get the first 2 kills out towards mid, but Angry spots the man in the back. And a very, very standard round, to be honest. Just winning the fights against the pistols, not much can be done.
I feel like this is just really nice from Radix, though, and I'm also going to be keeping a close eye on how they position themselves in this next buy, because they changed things up once. Then they go back to their bog standard where they sent Angry out through ramp. And Enclave are expecting something completely different. Now, I don't want to read into it too much. They were on just pistols. But it's interesting to still see kind of their CT side's mindset to adapting to Radix and just kind of what they try and throw at them. Obviously, with pistols, it's always going to be an uphill battle, and we can't expect much from them. So hopefully we can get something on their next fight. Hardest, though, will leave them with nothing to say. I think he knows where Whisk is. Yeah.
Yep. Definitely does now, because he's killed him. He's a dead man.
I didn't see that.
Did you not?
No. Had no idea.
I mean, maybe someone's just listening to the commentary. That would actually be very useful. I could be a radio commentator. Just literally say what's going on.
Like the good old days.
Yeah, true.
The glory days of esports.
I mean, Enclave here, again, they're down to an awful buy. They've got the nade stack. This could work out. Boastmaster, ooh, he's a dead man. Ooh. Dream goes aggressive, but he switches to the AWP. So it's a 1-for-1, and Lumji going to get another kill, but it's Neff who cleans things up. 2 frags for him just to make sure the round should be secure. Having said that, Shiki taken down low. Whisk also going aggressive, but the nade finishes off the first. Oh, if Whisk pulled the trigger there, it would have been the kill, but it could be the nade. No, doesn't get the frag. Looking for something. He's doing damage, and Neff doesn't expect him there. Second frag for Whisk. Could this be happening? Ardis is on 8 HP. I don't know why he's got a Mac 10 as well. He must have been trying to farm the money, and that leaves him in a really awkward spot now. Whisk is aware he's in CT. And the peek comes in, the timing is off, but Whisk still reacts for the kill. That could be a bit of a momentum builder if Enclave can come back here.
That is incredible. Every now and then we see these little kind of elements of Enclave shine on through, and these individual players as well. We've just seen it from Whisk. We saw it from Shiki just moments before with that AWP. Hopefully, and I mean, I almost beg, just Enclave use this as a Kickstarter to save this half. Get yourself that 10-5. That 10-5 is a good platform for you going forward in this second half. 11-4, still shaky as anything to me.
Yeah. And speaking of shaky, Shiki just got knifed in spawn at the start. I mean, that's close, right? That's not bad. Oh, Shiki! Oh my, buddy. 1 HP.
That knife just comes back to really scare you for a second there. Like, you are just not okay with that knife at all. Oh, does Bowden get a pick here as well with his AWP? I mean, it's almost a casual round so far, but there is a little bit of anticipation, just kind of, it lingers under your tongue. Will he actually be able to secure this pick? I don't know, I mean, Whisk is being, I was about to say he's being so careful, and then he jump peeks into Bowden and gets caught. Once again, it is the initial pick going in favor of Radix. And now, looks like it is going to be the boost window. I have to point out, Enclave should know this is coming. This is like the 5th or even 6th round. We've seen this from Radix on their T side. So hopefully we start to see that adaptations that way they can just keep a close eye on it. Shiki still putting in the work, of course, 1 HP, but hey, he's a one-man army. He's getting it done, and good for a second as he does find the head of Artis.
Yeah, the Orc can still do damage on low health, but with the mollies coming in, he has to be a little worried. Angry, though, again from window, just catches Lumji in the back. And with 40 seconds left, the A site is looking quite exposed because the push came through elsewhere. That was Trials who pushed all the way through Palace, and now the bomb comes back. Ooh,
this round comes down to Trials.
Yeah.
In my eyes, if Trials can do something now, even if it's just to deny the plant, he can win the round there and then. Or if he can secure a kill, he can still secure the round for his team. But it really does live up to him. If he spotted that player go under, I mean, I don't even know. Oh! Takes the duel against Neff in a bit of a dogfight. So there is that initial kill. Got to start somewhere. Capis does trade, but this positioning connector, ever so tough to battle.
Ooh. Angry's going to get that kill quickly. Holding off. There's the second headshot. I mean, we talked about Angry a lot in that half, and with good reason. He's not only getting entries, but he's even clutching in that last round with the 1-on-2.
I'd love to see how many kills he's got just before we fly out. I mean, we're not going to get to see, but I feel like it's a good number.
Probably good.
Production, could you tell us how many kills Angry's got? I'm just going to ask you straight up at this point. I feel like we need to know because that guy had such a strong game.
Yeah,
like it was some incredible openers from him. I mean, I do want to give credit, obviously, to Shiki Whisk. I mean, that is a nasty 1v3 just pulled off, buddy, but Angry still takes the spotlight. He still takes the... If we were to dish out an MVP right now, I feel like it's still very easy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. Especially, I mean, generally you give the MVP to the winning team. I mean, they're not guaranteed to win just yet, but, you know, it could... Well, it's likely to happen at this point. 11-4 up. And here we go. P250 for Shiki, and we're going to head underway. A couple of nades as well, and mid-presence this time for Enclave.
Angry. Aware that there's a bit of pressure being placed on towards mid. Would have seen at least one of those players, so knows full well that Enclave likely were looking just to test and see what they can do. Could well be telegraphing that beast, but I mean, we can see obviously the bombs, so we know that's a certain fact, but it's a little different story for Radix. Obviously, they know full well that it also could lead to something on A, so options very much open right now in their eyes. They're just waiting to see what utility is going to be put in place, what peaks are going to be taken, and just whether they're really going to stick it to mid, which obviously they will find out sooner rather than later. Shiki going to take down Neff. So far, so good. Trials is going to be rallying himself up through short. That bomb is starting to become the more important thing to be keeping an eye on. Shiki is just selling this fake.
And Radix have bought it. I mean, it wasn't even necessarily the fact they rotated off that heavily. He just made them stick around on the A site. And there we go. One kill is enough. But Angry is still looking angry as he gets that headshot. The bomb's going to come in. So it's still going to be difficult. And he just gets his head ripped clean off. Lumji does go a bit over-aggressive. A couple of kills come back. Artis nearly wins that fight. But that leaves Boasting now 1v2, and one stray bullet would take him down. Still, this round becomes surprisingly close, but the double peak is well played, and Enclave give themselves a lifeline.
Credit to both Dream and the double peak at the end. Both of those kind of, I guess, for Dream we're talking about him as a player and his performance there. 3 kills, obviously hugely impactful, but the double peak at the end involving him was also super influential because it gives just no opportunity to Bowden to get a fluke headshot or follow up with either of the players. So nicely done, and it does get them that pistol, obviously. So making that 11-4 a little bit less painful, gives them their 5th, of course, and a method to now trying to find their 6th and hopefully 7th. But obviously they have to deal with Radix here, who have a bit of a mixed bag.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a UMP in there, but there's also just a USP on its own.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about double AWPs earlier. This certainly looks like it's Radix wanting to get double AWPs very quickly. Artis and Boasting both investing minimally. Unless that ump was dropped by Artis over to Angry, but I think he could have afforded that because I think Angry got a kill or 2. So I assume it's them two saving to try and get the AWPs. That's yet to be seen, though, as is anything in this round. It's both teams just sitting back patiently. Even with the force buy, you don't necessarily have to get aggressive. You can just try and hold close positions. As a Dream lets his teammate know, you are the bomb carrier in this round. I'm just going to go in with my AK. Oh, no. It's hot potato happening here.
Yeah, I think he just kind of wanted to poke around, make the noise with the AK, then run back. Just doesn't risk the bomb in any of that process. So I guess there's a little bit of smarts behind it. Nonetheless, it looks like they are finding themselves the sitting ducks that are Radix. So far, so good. 2 kills will come through. Whisk down to 14 HP. Isn't great, but everything's still looking pretty ship-shaped for Enclave. As it is just Angry and Capers, all that remain for this Radix lineup.
Oh, Capers gets 1 kill at least, catching Whisk in the back from that boost position. Oh, another kill for Angry, but the trade comes out quickly. I mean, Trials went down low on health there. That could have actually got quite close. And it is still somewhat close, but Capers, I don't think, will be winning this retake. He can certainly save, though. He's got the CZ as the sidearm, so that can be dropped to a teammate if he can hold on to this Galil. Certainly gives something for Radix to work with into the upcoming round. However, Enclave will get themselves another on the board. So that's the main thing to watch for, but at least Radix won't have no investment into this next round.
Rather have something than nothing at the end of the day, and I think that's going to be useful for them to see what they can do at least. Obviously, the more important point, I still feel like is just keeping a very close eye on this T side and really kind of, I guess, looking towards that first buy now more than anything else.
Oof. It's a lot of Mac 10s we just saw bought. I mean, they've gone down quite low on money as well, so yeah, this could get somewhat interesting, seeing what their money is like. It might even be worth one of these players just buying like a P250 if you really want to skimp on it, but a lot of their investment has surprisingly gone in towards the nades in this round, which, I mean, I guess you can understand it. You don't want to, you know, get caught off by some close position. You want to be able to molly everything out. However, it's still quite a lot of investment when you should be quite comfortable in winning this round most of the time.
Everything you said is totally correct, but you're missing one of the most important weapons in the round. You already know what I'm talking about. I see that look on your face. You know.
I see it.
I know. We both are aware of the fact that Bode is waiting. The trap is set. Lumji, just walk into it, please, for our sake. Give us something to laugh about. Just walk on in. Accept fate. No, it's just not. I'm gutted.
No, it's not interested.
I mean, we'll have to wait and see. I mean, Zeus's can be always the surprising weapon in CS. I mean, have you seen any moments you remember with a Zeus?
I mean, nothing. It's not like you can get a sick ace with a Zeus or anything, you know.
Yeah, but you could finish off an ace with a Zeus. Imagine that.
I mean, oh, yeah, you could. I mean, Surreal got a kill with the Zeus in the opening day of matches.
I feel like someone should be keeping a tally of the amount of Zeus kills.
Oh, yeah.
Through Prem, as well as knife kills. I think both of them.
Oh yeah.
And we could actually see it get something done. I mean, look, it's in Palace. It could fly out Palace and kill the bomb planter. You never know. These things happen.
I don't know if I'm a believer right now. I mean, the bomb's going back towards.
I mean, I'm seeing kills come through. I'm seeing Angry taking down Shiki. I'm seeing him push through a smoke. You doubted me. Bowden gets the kill. Bowden, I'm so proud of you.
They're going to win. They've just won. What?
How are you feeling now? This is why you just believe. I mean,
that was actually so funny from that POV as well. Just seeing him like manically run across the site from his teammates' perspective.
The best part, I wasn't even looking at the game at that point. I'm just looking at you. You were just laughing away. It's just complete madness. Like, I don't even know, man. I thought the Zeus would be entertaining. You didn't believe, and there you have it.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where you talk about it, it just happens. Scripted.
It's just magic.
Nah, we're actually just following the script.
Oh, yeah.
Did you not get it before the show?
Oh, I've got it right here.
Cool.
Yeah.
Should be.
I can't believe Enclave are going to come back and win this.
It's a 16-8 score.
That's the script. Wow. Yeah. If that actually happens,
that's a nasty name.
Oof, yeah. Another one. 2 nades. Ooh. It's a nasty shot from Dream. A lot of nasty things happening in this round, including that from Bodenmaster. The Galil gets a double. Deeg will be recovered from Whisk. All of Enclave have just gone out towards mid here. I mean, they're just deeging up. They're trying to get some headshots. I mean, it's not an awful idea, to be honest, considering they can't do much else in the round. It's worked to at least get 1 kill, but don't expect them, to get too much else. As Cape is, taps off the head. Oh, I thought he was going to get the second, but he's struggling pretty heavily. Decides to just duck out of that one. A little bit too embarrassing for him. Just Whisk and Dream left. Shouldn't see too much else come through. Ooh, timing a little bit off. Artis does get dropped. Okay, back to a 2-on-3 now.
I feel like what we've just learned is that Capis has definitely been an aimbots.
Oh, yeah.
100%. That is a nice little flick. But same goes for Whisk. He's been practicing those deagles. He's actually been pretty successful in this game as well, I think, with getting those kills in rounds where, sure, usually they never convert them. I think they've only converted 1 of these rounds off the top of my head. But even then, like, getting damage through is always going to be at least a win in his books, I feel.
Ooh, A is really open right now because they push through Palace. Dream is going to get another kill. This becomes somewhat worrying now. I mean, Bodenmaster only has the Mac 10 in Palace. The bomb should go down. Whisk is going to be able to get that one planted. If Enclave could win this round, then Radix again could be forced into an awful position in terms of their money. But do they know Bodenmaster is here? The Mac 10 can't pull the trigger. He's going to walk down the ladder, but Whisk is aware, doesn't flick down. And elsewhere, the nade gets the kill. It is Radix to just about hold on to the round win. That was quite a strange round. You don't normally see those sort of those low buy rounds play out like that. However, it is Radix to eventually hold on.
Just got to trust in the simulation.
Oh, yeah.
For sure. Angry 22-13. That's the number I wanted to see. Just 22-13 in a game like this is... It's honestly impeccable from him, to be honest, because this was Enclave's shot to make it close and competitive. I thought this could be our closest game of the night, but... Yeah. I don't know, it's not been pretty so far. Enclave on 6 rounds, but... They do still have themselves an opportunity to fight their way back. Of course, it comes down to this buy, really, I feel like. They drop this. Radix not only get to 14, but likely are able to secure their 15th as well. And that's where the going really gets tough. So this is really a big round for them. So let's see what they can achieve. 5 AK-47s, full utility. What's going to be the play?
Do you want a fun fact, Ryan?
Go for it.
In the first game of the ESL UK Premiership, Radix won 16-3. That's 19 rounds, and Angry had 22 kills there. 19 rounds in this game, 22 kills again. He's just a 22-kill man. Either way, the kills are coming in. Cape is going to spray 1, but only 1 kill, and that means Bodenmaster has a lot on his shoulders. Molly comes in.
Oh, look at him go! Oh, that is beautiful stuff. Diving through the fire and the flames, making a 2v versus 2. Shiki up on towards short, obviously going to be the player to watch here, as he has that ability to shut down anyone that exits market. But Boden, he's feeling it right now. Let's see if he can dive on through this window and make it work. I mean, he doesn't know where anyone is. He might have just seen a shoulder, a little bit of skin, but unfortunately, he has not. Shiki will take him down, leaving just Neff up against 2, flicking backwards and forwards. No Shiki still on short, but he's desperately hunting for Whisk, and without that information, the cookie begins to crumble.
Yeah, just no time for Neff, unfortunately. And with Bodenmaster there, that's the kind of position where you really want your teammates looking at your screen. Oh, he's going to get the AWP. Nice.
Nicely done.
Yeah, Bodenmaster would really want his teammates looking at his screen there. If they could have seen the pixel, I don't think he quite saw the player on the corner, though. I don't think anyone would have been able to see that. So a little unfortunate. However, it's still a strong buy for Radix. As you said, the AWP saved. And yeah, full buy for both teams, really. I mean, Enclave are lacking a little bit of utility, but nothing that they will be too concerned about. And we'll get to see if the AWP on Bodenmaster can do anything in this round. He is out towards mid. Won't be no-scoping, but does connect. Not the frag, though. Dream goes down to 17 HP. And unfortunately for Bodenmaster, his AWP is already gone.
The tag is all well and good, but the kill is what counts. 17 HP should not be a number that Dream is on. He should be a dead man, but unfortunately it is Boden to get shut down, like you say, leaving an AWP stranded in mid. And a choice for Angry. Do you go back and you pick it up? I mean, the answer so far seems to be yes. He's dropped it, picked it up again, and now maybe going to take the peek. I mean, there are some, again, decisions to be made right now on how you approach this round all of a sudden. Kind of losing a lot of that mid presence, having no information on what's happening in mid is always going to be a little problematic because you don't know what's going on through short and such. Starting to respond at least by putting artists on bricks, but they got to be so careful. I mean, Enclave are playing right into their hands by walking through connector, but by staying crouched, Artist is getting so little information. He has no idea that they've come through. I mean, it's going to be Angry to have to step up and hold this one down. Angry, buddy, please. You shouldn't be able to get 2 kills there, let alone a chance at a 3rd, as he is just going to hold the cross. All 3 kills. Artist to find the 4th. Radix, they secure themselves their 14th round.
Yeah, Enclave there were going for the A play, but they didn't quite have the utility deployed. I think because they had that mid presence, they didn't want to smoke, especially in towards jungle. And to be fair, they got quite close to Angry there, but as you said, he managed to land the shots with the AWP. And after finding such success with the AWP, he is still willing to give it back to Bodenmaster, who's going to go aggressive towards mid. Not going to make the jump. That could cause his death. He takes a little bit of damage, but only down 9 HP lost.
Oh, they got the bomb already.
Yeah, it's Angry again out towards mid, who gets that first. Artist going to assist him. Artist goes for a bit more. Yeah, I mean, yeah, they're just making it look easy, aren't they?
It's a little bit of a duck hunt in mid. I mean, there's not really much you can do. The bomb was dropped straight away, meaning that all chances of getting a plant are finito, meaning it is just pistols scrambling around, hungry and just desperate for a kill, and they're not going to get anything. It's just Shiki looking for a headshot or 2, and really that's your only chance at a frag. you can't dismiss the Deagle, the chance for that little headshot, that surprise moment. But it just looks like it's not going to happen. Radix, they get themselves match point. 26 kills.
It's not bad. I guess
not
we
bad.
should. Yeah. I've got high standards. I could do better. I couldn't do better. I wish I could do better. It is fitting, though, that in a UK CS game, the player that's top fragging isn't from the UK. He's
Don't
Dutch.
say that. Everyone says that. It happens all the time.
I mean,
you can't say that.
To be fair, Smooth your top
That's
frag
like
for everyone, so you know.
You can't diminish away from the fact that those guys, they're waving the British flag. They're getting it done as a UK team. Don't hate.
Yeah, I'll allow it.
See your point, but don't go hate on my pride. We got to see a team succeed, man. Come on. This is looking like a bit of a messy ace site. I mean, it's not really working out, is it? They're kind of just being dropped dead. I mean, it is just a bloodbath. Radix Esports get themselves another win. Enclave struggled to show up, and I mean, that's the game. I don't even know where to start with the breaking that one down. I mean, it really was kind of all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's probably better to look at the wider context of this. The fact that Radix did look really, really on point there. I mean, maybe they could be competitors in Group B. I mean, they've still got to play against